being purpose-driven, we can tie that to sports too. There are certain organizations that run better than others, and everybody in the sports world knows it.
Yeah.
It's not about money. We've
No.
had the conversation before. Money can't buy championships. It can't.
Dodgers.
You can't. Did you just say the Dodgers?
Yeah.
Well, you bypassed the Yankees because,
Well, the Yankees
but
too.
but
But there's a
historically,
historically.
it's like historically, whoever the best player is, the Yankees go and get him.
Yeah.
But they don't always win. Even
No.
with 27 championships,
Because it takes an ecosystem.
it does take an ecosystem.
We always talk
Let's
about that.
already.
Yes.
So, Sherry, let's talk about that ecosystem, the culture in baseball that shows up in winning teams. So you guys have won the World Series, right?
Yeah. Twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
Let's talk about those teams. What was different about those teams than all the other 900 bazillion times that we're going to win it this year, and we never do, except for those years?
Honest to God, when I think of those teams, I think of the pitching. I really do. I think of the pitching. I think of the chemistry. I think of the chemistry that was with both of those teams. I think of the way they were coached and the culture of it all. You know.
Tiffany Green is over there, eyeballs just bouncing around. That's like it's talking about the culture.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter profit,
Nope.
nonprofit, sports teams.
Orchestras, bands, name
It
it.
does not matter.
Mhm.
There are people, and good culture works.
It's all about your purpose and your why, and making sure everybody understands it and buys into it and feels encouraged and motivated by it.
Okay, so what happens when people, organizations get a little bit of success? Sherry, I remember Pat Riley said it's the disease of me. A lot of great dynasties won one in a row. They're going to be it. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, everybody wants to get their fame and fortune. How do we battle against that?
Wow. That's I think remembering your why you're doing it. I think some of the most successful baseball players, and I will give you an example, and I know this is going to, you're going to have to look them up, guys, because if you don't look them up, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. But if you look at Jake Cave, okay, he plays for the Phillies right now. He started with the New York Yankees, and Minnesota Twins picked him up. He is not by any means the best right fielder we have ever seen, but you know what? He loves the game, and he is hands down one of the most successful baseball players because he keeps getting picked up by team after team because of his hard work, his dedication, and who he is. He believes in what he does, and he makes other people believe in what he does. And that, to me, is the biggest part, is remembering your why do you do it. If you can remember your why and show people your why, they're going to continue to believe in you the way you do.
So, and he's good for the locker room, is what people say.
Yes.
And we talk about that in business. Some people are just great team players. They get it. What's it take to be a great team player?
Removing ego
Yeah.
all out.
Oh, here you
right?
go with that one.
Yeah,
Yep.
because the biggest deterrent of success is ego. And if ego is driven by fear or ego is driven by a self-inflated "I'm the best," it will deter you from your success. And I think, now I'm not a sports guru like the lady sitting next to me, but I would have to say, when I listen to people talk about sports, there are some, I can't recite names and I apologize, but I hear a lot of names, like really famous names that, are they good at what they do? Yeah, but man, are they not liked? And they're not taking their teams to the championships because why? They're driven by ego, and everybody knows it. Because at the end of the day, whether we're talking like baseball, right? What is the purpose of baseball? Is the purpose of baseball to hit a ball with a stick? That's a how, right? What is the purpose of baseball? Why do people watch it? Why do people sit in the stands to watch this, America's favorite pastime sport, right?
Yeah,
What is the
absolutely.
purpose? That's where baseball, why it became America's, most famous pastime sport, is because of what was that drive? What was the purpose behind baseball? It gave people what? Hope.
Community,
And
hope. World War II gave people hope.
And there's been 9/11. When you look at happened after
Oh,
9/11,
yes.
then when you look at the Boston bombing,
Yep.
when you look at when other things haven't happened, has been baseball. You know, and the one part about it is when we let ego go, there was a time that we thought that whole ego driven thing was okay. All we needed was the one guy who would drive the ego, and then he would get a bunch of people to get on the bandwagon with him.
Yeah.
As long as they knew their place. And
Yeah. And I think that has worked in some aspects, but I think that we look at things a little bit differently these days. We look at, there's a difference between cocky and confident, right? And we see players like A-Rod who have completely driven their team down because of their
not just
behavior.
one team.
Yeah.
He has multiple teams that he's gotten the Felix Unger treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been asked to leave.
Yeah. What does that say? And people think that, well, he was still a great player. He was a great player up until the time he thought he was better than Derek Jeter, and he had to use enhancements 3 times to get better than the best.
He should have known going to New York it was Jeter's town.
It was Jeter's town. This is my town for baseball.
This is your town. Okay, let's talk about Kids On first.
Okay.
The idea of putting that together, where are you now? You had some help there, or you were here a couple, wow. Time flies. That's a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so a couple years ago, talking about the idea that, let's talk about how you came to this. You are a baseball writer too, aren't you?
Yep. I am. I write for the Minnesota Twins. I work for Twins Daily, which is one of the only owner-approved syndicates, basically, for the Minnesota Twins. We have access to players, and we have access to the locker room, the culture. It's basically been one of the best things that's happened to me, and I had an awesome opportunity to talk to LaTroy Hawkins and Pat Mahomes Sr., and learn about the disparities of blacks in baseball, and it really opened my eyes.